From 1961 to 1974, Africa witnessed one of its longest and most brutal struggles for independence, the Portuguese Colonial Wars. For centuries, Portugal ruled over Angola, Mozambique, and Guinea-Bissau, enforcing forced labor, land seizures, and violent exploitation. But in 1961, the people rose up. They had endured enough. It began in Angola. Plantation workers who had been treated like slaves rebelled. Protests turned into armed resistance, and soon the country was engulfed in war. Portugal's response was swift and merciless. Villages were burned. Civilians were massacred. Torture and forced displacement became common. Yet instead of breaking the spirit of the Angolan people, it fueled their determination. In 1963, Guinea-Bissau joined the fight. Amílcar Cabral, one of Africa's greatest revolutionary leaders, built a disciplined liberation movement that emphasized not only independence, but dignity, education, and identity. His fighters waged one of the most effective guerrilla wars in modern history, striking blows against Portuguese forces who thought they could never be defeated. Then in 1964, Mozambique rose. FRELIMO, the Mozambique Liberation Front, launched a people's war. Men and women fought side by side, not only as soldiers, but as medics, educators, and leaders. This was not just a war of weapons, it was a war of survival and unity. Portugal, under the Salazar dictatorship, refused to let go of its empire. It poured soldiers, bombs, and money into Africa. Napalm and chemical weapons were unleashed on villages. But even with overwhelming firepower, they could not stop the tide of liberation. By the early 1970s, it became clear the empire was crumbling. International pressure grew. The Soviet Union, Cuba, and newly independent African nations provided vital support. Portuguese soldiers, many of them young conscripts, grew tired of a war they did not believe in. In 1973, Amílcar Cabral was assassinated, but his dream lived on. 1 year later, the Portuguese dictatorship collapsed in Lisbon during the Carnation Revolution. With it, Portugal's empire in Africa fell apart. By 1975, Angola, Mozambique, and Guinea-Bissau were finally free. The wars had claimed countless lives, but they proved something greater, that even against centuries of oppression, the will of the people could not be broken. This is the story of Africa's forgotten fight for freedom, the war that ended the last European empire on the continent. This is Africa Uncovered. Subscribe, like, share, follow, and comment to reclaim your history. Congratulations if you're already following us. But if you're not, this might be the last time you see us again, so follow now and never miss the truth they never taught you. Want to uncover more hidden history? Check my profile for more resources to keep learning. If you want to read more history, this book, linked below, is also a great resource.